International human resource management. Managing people in international settings requires human resource to address a broader range of functional areas. If requires more involvement in employees' personal life, the firm should establish different human resource management system for different geographic locations. Introduction. Why do companies like Walmart, Procter and Gamble, IBM, Nike and Nestle want to pursue a global strategy despite failures and losses? The answer is fairly simple. They recognize that business is becoming a unified global arena as a trade barriers fall, communication becomes faster and cheaper, and consumer taste in everything from clothing to cellular phone coverage. The world is full of stateless corporations. Nestle Switzerland. Nestle personifies the stateless corporation with 98% of sales and 96% of employees outside the home country. Nestle previous global CEO was German Bohr H. Maucher, and half of the company's general managers are non-Swiss. Coca-Cola is a multinational corporation that obtains 80% of its operative income from outside the United States. Other companies, other companies, for other companies, for example, Colgate, Palmolive company sells Colgate toothpaste in more than 50 countries. McDonald's sells its burgers in 73 countries. Gillette, Johnson and Johnson earn well over 50% of its profit overseas. Asia Brown Boveri ABB has operation throughout the world, having sought or taken minority positions in 60 firms. Pressures of globalization. The list of global companies that transcend national boundaries is growing steadily. As a result of this globalization, companies are compelled to integrate their production, finance, marketing, R&D activities in a careful manner. There is also an increasing need for creating organization structures capable of balancing centralized home office control with adequate local autonomy. Pressures of globalization. Global assignments can be demanding. Globalization also means that more employees are being sent overseas on temporary assignments. When sent around on such assignment, expatriates face unique challenges in relationship-oriented societies. Asia, Arab world, and Latin America, they need to adopt a personalized approach with employees. Sometimes silence pays. The story is told of several US executives who were trying to negotiate with their Japanese counterparts. The American head negotiator made a proposal. The Japanese head negotiator maintained silence. Again, there should be no attempt to control the wrong signs. As L. Draft reported, a Sears manager in Hong Kong insisted that employees come to work on time instead of 15 minutes late. The employees did exactly as they were told, but they also left on time instead of working into the evening as they had previously. Complexities in global operations. International operations have more functions, more heterogeneous functions, more involvement in the employee's personal life, different approaches to management since the population of expertise and local varies. In the new millennium, traditional conceived and practiced leadership skills do not seem to produce results. Adler and her colleagues have listed some of the transitional skills that are needed for the newly emerging global economy. Transitional competent managers, transitional skills, global perspective. Translational competent managers understand worldwide business environment from a global expertise. For global perspective, traditional international managers focus on single foreign country and on managing relationship. between headquarters and that country. Transnational skills, local responsiveness, transitional competent managers learn about cultures, local responsiveness, translational international managers become an expert in one culture, synergistic learning, translational competent managers work with and learn from people from many cultures simultaneously, create a culturally synergistic organization environment, synergistic learning, traditional international managers both with and coach people in each foreign culture separately or subsequently, integrate foreigners into headquarters national organization culture, transition and adaptation, transitional skills, transnationality competent managers use cross cultural interaction skills on a daily basis throughout one's career. Cross cultural interaction, traditional international managers use cross cultural interaction skills primarily on foreign assignments. Transnational skills collaboration, transnationally competent managers interact with the foreign colleagues as equals. Traditionally international managers collaboration interact with clear defined hierarchies of structure and culture dominance. Transnational skills, foreign experience, transnationally competent managers, transportation for career and organization development, foreign experience, traditionally international managers, expatriation or impartition primarily to get the job done. Defining international HRM, IHRM. Generally speaking, there are three sources of employees for an international assignment. The organization might close to hire host country nationals, HCNs, also called local nationals. They are the employees from the local population. Parent or home country national, PCNs. Hey, note here, in host country national, SCNs, a worker from Bihar employed by an American firm operating in India would be considered a host country national. Parent or home country national, PCNs, also called expatriates. They are the people sent from the country in which the organization is headquartered. Third country nationals, TCNs. TCNs are from a country other than where the parent organization headquarters or operations are located. According to P.V. Morgan, international HRM is the result of an interplay among the three dimensions: human resource activities, types of employees, and countries of operation. The complexities of operation in various countries and employing different national categories of workers is an important variable that differentiates domestic and international HRM rather than any major differences between HRM activities performed. Model of international HRM Morgan. This is procure, this is allocate, this is utilize. Host country national HCNs, parent country national PCNs, third country national TCNs, host, home, other. Culture differences and HRM. The important global pressures impacting HRM practices in MNCs having grown in number, variety and complexity in recent times thanks to the changes in the information technology, dismantling of tariffs, differentiated laws, cultural and language barriers, bargaining practices, etc. Need for culture training, HOJETs and Luthans. One of the national challenges for an organization is preparing people to be the expatriate employees working in a nation other than their home country. Without this preparation, such employees may not be able to take on and successfully compensate on overseas assignment. An example, let us see how people behave in the Arab world. Arabs talk with their hands and with the profuse facial expressions. While talking, Arabs stand much close together. Kissing on cheeks is the common way for men to greet each other. They use the right hand always for public matters. The left hand consider the toilet hand should not be used for giving or accepting anything from other person, and they always insist on a personal one-to-one meeting for concluding deals. Puzzles confronting the expatriate manager. The following question must be looked into carefully before sending managers on a foreign assignment. What is the host country business culture like? What is the management style? Do I have skills I will need to handle relationship with my employees? Will this assignment be good for my long-term career growth? Can I expect to be promoted when I return? How will I treated if I do not succeed in the overseas job? What is the country like? What are the customs? Will I be able to adjust to the culture? Will my family be able to adjust to new situation? Will my spouse be able to find a suitable employment? Will my children be able to adjust to going to school in another country? How good is education system there? How will you learn enough of a new language to communicate effectively? Where will we live? How will the new house arrangements compare to our current home? What will happen to our current home where we live for the new assignment? What are the tax and other financial issues I will have to address as an expatriate? Who will advise me on these topics? Will the company pay me in a way that protects my income from high foreign tax rates? How will our medical needs be taken care of? The Survive, Cope and Succeed manager generally require training in three areas: the culture, the language, and practical day-to-day matters. Research studies how a high rate of expatriate failures ranging from 25 to 50% mainly due to culture shock that usually occurs 4 to 6 months after arrival in the foreign country. According to Harris and Moran, the culture differences between countries could be examined. Areas where trained to be offered as expatriate managers along the different dimensions. Sense of self and pace. People in a number of culture prefers to stand close when conversing. Both Arabs, as indicated previously, and Asians fall into this group. An interpersonal distance of only 6 inches is very disturbing to a Northern European or an American who is used to conversing at arm's length. Language note here. Language. Foreign language skills are the gateway to the close culture understanding. Words and gestures mean different things to different people. Consider the following example. Ford introduced a low-cost truck Fiera into some Spanish-speaking countries. Unfortunately, the name meant ugly old man in Spanish. Dress and appearance. Garments and body decoration vary by culture. Anyone disrespecting the turban in India may be roughed up badly. Formal dress for business meetings may be essential in some cultures but not in others. Food, eating habits and perceptual problems. Different cultures may have different ways of preparing and eating food. Beef, a favorite of many Americans, may be prohibited term, leave alone eating the same in the Hindu culture. Some may eat with their hands, others prefer to use chopsticks or full set of cutlery. A US manager who sees the wife of Latin American host enter the door of kitchen assumes that the woman is putting the finishing touches on the meal. Unknown to the manager perhaps is the fact that woman actually supervising the cooking of food is checking to see that everything is in order. Time and time consciousness. The sense of time varies across cultures. To Americans, time is money. They are obsessed with making and keeping appointments. They live by schedules, deadlines, and agendas. Relationships. Culture specify human and organization interactions by age, gender, status, and family relationship, as well as by wealth, power, and wisdom. In Hindu culture, all family members generally live under one roof. Self, spouse, children, parents, etc. Here monogamy, one wife is the rule, but in the other culture polygamy, one husband several wives, or polyandry, one wife several husbands, might be accepted. Values and norms. Material wealth might be dominant value in some cultures. People are ready to do anything in order to acquire wealth. Beliefs and attitudes. Religious beliefs and attitudes vary among cultures. Hindu let things happen. Most North Americans try to control events by taking charges of things by themselves. Internals. Some religions teach reincarnation, whereas other beliefs they pass this way only once and hence want to achieve and enjoy as much as they can. Mental process and learning. Across cultures, one can always found profound differences in the ways people think and learn. Some people emphasize logical thinking and proceed cautiously, weighing pros and cons from various angles. Work habits and practices. The attitude toward work may vary greatly across cultures. In some, there is a strong focus on work values and ethics, whereas in other, it is missing. You may be praised profusely for turning out good work in some cultures. In others, you may be pulled down at every stage for not meeting expectations, called management by objections. European favor power and status. American prefer to be informal and value initiative and achievement greatly. Japanese emphasize consensus and teamwork in the workplace more than anything else. Cross-cultural training techniques for expatriate managers. Documentary programs. Trainees read about a foreign country's history, culture, institutions, geography, and economics. Videotaped presentation are often used. Culture assimilation. Culture familiarity is achieved through exposure to a series of simulated in-culture incidents or typical problem situations. Language instruction. Conversational language skills are taught through a variety of methods. In most multinational companies, executives learn various languages in a routine way so that they can be useful to the company in case of a short-lived foreign assignments. Sensitivity training. Experiential exercises teach awareness of impact of one's actions on others. Field experience. First-hand exposure on ethnic subcultures in one's own country or to foreign countries heightens awareness. Business basic. This covers negotiating cross-culturally, working with various type of clients, making presentation, etc. Economic factors and HR practices. Differences in economic system among countries also translate into inter-country differences in HR practices. In free expertise system, companies tend to focus on HR policies that value productivity, efficient workers, cost-cutting measures in the line with market situations. In India, for example, public sector companies like NTC, DTC, IDTC, IDPL, HFC continue to protect the lives of workers even though the units were declared unavailable long back. In countries like India and Pakistan, the loss of man days due to disturbances is alarming high. Labor productivity is very low. Portuguese workers average about 1980 hours of work annually, while German workers average 1648 hours. In UK and Germany, the severance pay is relatively high. Such labor cost differences could influence hiring and firing decisions. Inter-country differences in cultures, economic systems, labor costs, labor and industrial relations systems thus complicate the task of selecting, training and managing employees abroad. Note here, inter-country differences in cultural, economic systems, labor cost, labor and industrial relations systems thus complicate the task of selecting, training and managing employees abroad. International recruitment process. Companies operating outside their home countries essentially follow three ways of hiring executives. Ethnocentrism. It is a cultural attitude marked by tendency to regard one's own country as superior to others. Sending home country executives abroad thinking that they will be able to deliver the goods may be appropriate strategy in the initial stages of expanding company operational worldwide, as these officials know what to do immediately. Reasons for expatriate failures. Thakur, transfer anxieties. Foreign assignment might have been pushed ahead without adequate preparation and advanced planning. Career problems. A foreign posting creates for an expatriate a number of career problems, being out of sight, out of mind, and being bypassed for promotions. Second, the danger of coming home a stranger with a familiar faces to greet his her arrival. Third, the likelihood of being tempted by the foreign lifestyle and losing the desire to return. Personal problems. As Nigandhi reported, expatriates may encounter serious adjust problems such as personal discomfort and uncomfortable living conditions, homesickness, education, medical, health problems of family members, social aloofness, cultural mismatch. Other concerns, these include the foreign posting might be looked at as a short-term obligation. Second, the expat's performance might be evaluated against a short-time criteria. Too often, expats are selected on the strength of their domestic track record. Polycentrism. In the polycentric operation, there is a conscious belief that only host country managers can ever really understand the culture and behavior of the host country market. Therefore, the foreign subsidiary should be managed by local people. Geocentrism. Geocentrism assumes that management candidates must be searched on a global basis without favoring anyone. The best manager for any specific position anywhere on the globe may be found in any of the countries in which the firm operates. International selection criteria. International postings are complex and carry a lot of inbuilt pressures along with them. It would be erroneous to assume that the job requires the same set of skills in different locations. General and technical criteria. Research findings consistently indicate that MNCs place heavy reliance on relevant technical skills during the expatriate selection process. In addition, the expatriate manager should be a good communicator and possess management talent, maturity, emotional stability in ample measure. Language skills. Most researchers argue that knowledge of the host country's language is an important factor affecting the performance of an expatriate. Where the expatriate is expected to communicate with the host country subjects frequently, language skills come to occupy center stage. Cross-cultural suitability. Expatriate managers must be able to adapt to change. They must have ability to translate their technical or managerial skills into meaningful action plans in a foreign environment. Motivation for a foreign assignment. The candidate for foreign assignment must believe in the importance of the job and possess a certain amount of idealism or a sense of mission. Family situation. Several items including the adaptability of spouse and family, spouse's positive opinion, willingness of spouse to live abroad, stable marriage comprises this factor. This factor was found to be most important above list, contributing to the expat's success or failure on foreign scale. Expatriate manager success and failure. The first key to finding a successful expatriate in a selection process that accurately determines who is culturally flexible and adaptable, has a supportive family situation, and is motivated to accept the overseas assignment. Characteristics of the expatriate manager: strong technical skills, good language skills, uncertain technical competency, weak language skills, strong desire to work overseas, unsure about going overseas. Selection process. The selection process varies widely from country to country. Asian countries use extensive testing procedures and screening techniques. Europeans do not test as much as Asians but considerably more than Americans. International training and development. Careful selection is only the first step in ensuring the foreign assignee's success. The expatriate may then require proper orientation, cross-cultural training, assistance in career planning and development, etc., in order to handle the assigned jobs in a competent way. Orientation. International position require an extensive orientation to familiarize the employee with culture, language, and other unique aspects of the assignment. Familiarization trips also should be arrived for the prospective expatriates so that they can actually visit the country of their posting and live like natives there for a while. Pre-arrival orientation, culture briefing, explaining the tradition, customs, living condition, clothing and housing requirements, health stipulation, etc. Assigning briefing, throwing light on a light of assignment, vacations, compensation, packet tax, implication, repatriation policy, etc. Shipping requirement, shipping, packing, storage, housing facility in the new location, etc. Post arrival orientation. Once global employees arrive in the host country, they will require further assistance in settling in. Someone should receive them and help them in obtaining house accommodation, establishing bank accounts, getting driving license, arranging admission to the school for dependent children, etc. Fourth, cross culture training. Differences in culture, language and laws may make it difficult for the global employees to be on track quickly. In order to lead a normal life, they need a cross culture as well as language training. B क्या है? What is B? Career development. The expertise, motivation to do well on international assignment is primarily dependent on the following things: whether the present assignment would help the expertise to learn things, expand his knowledge, creating a unique position for himself in the organization ladder and grow vertically with the firm once this job is successfully completed, whether the expatriate is enjoying continued support from the headquarters or not. One of the most deterrents to accepting foreign assignment is the expatriates' concern that they will be out of sight, out of mind. If they do not have direct and regular contact with the bosses and colleagues at headquarters, they feel isolated and thrown out of the system. International compensation. Due to differences in tax and cost living as well as a difficult living condition, pay and benefits for employees living abroad must be decided carefully, paying attention to three things. The expatriate's income should be at least be equivalent to what he or she is getting at home. Additional incentive must be offered for accepting the international assignment. Example: sign-in bonus, percentage increase in base salary, lump sum payment on successful completion of assignment, etc. It is better to avoid having expatriates fill the same jobs held by local or lower-ranking jobs. In such cases, local employees may resent the higher pay and allowances given to expatriates, complain about inequity in pay, and may even quit in the protest. Most MNCs use what is popular known as the balance sheet approach, which tries to equalize purchasing power across countries. Performance appraisal of international managers. It is not easy to appraise an expatriate's performance. A number of complication factors come in the way of a fair and equitable appraisal. First, there is a question of who actually carries out the appraisal. Second, evaluations from home country managers may always be questioned on grounds of geographic separation. Third, the criteria used to measure performance such as profit, market share may be good yardsticks theoretically speaking, but when these are affected by local issues such as political instability, changes in government policy, ensuring fairness is not going to be easy. International labor relations. Labor relation structures, laws and practices vary considerably among countries. MNCs therefore adopt different relation strategies in relation to environment peculiar to each firm. Some important aspects would considering here may be listed thus: the role of unions. The role of union varies from country to country due to many factors such as level of employment, homogeneity of labor, racial, religious, social class, level of per capita labor, income, relations between labor and management, labor laws within a country empowering unions to represent labor effectively, etc. Collective bargaining. Collective bargaining practices can vary widely from country to country depending on the role played by the represented local governments. In the United Kingdom and France, for example, government actively intervenes in all aspects of collective bargaining. In developing countries, it is quite common for government to have representative present during bargaining session to ensure fairness and protection to unions represented by readily uneducated leaders. Labor participation. The law takes care of employee representing in many European countries. The employer is legally required to provide for employee representation on safety committees, worker councils, or on boards or directors. The work councils in France are empowered to oversee grievances, problems of individual employees, international regulation, and employee welfare related issues. Health and safety. Employee health and safety and regulation vary from country to country, ranging virtually non-existent to many stringent than in India, with more and more fatality rates. Working internationally in some of the less developed countries, safe-related issues have assumed importance in recent times. In countries like Brazil, Nigeria, Philippines, Russia, and New Guinea, street crimes are quite common, and kidnapping has become a way of life. In addition, to many such firms have started using metal detector to scan the entry of all people, erected physical barriers such as iron fences, concrete barricades, bulletproof glass, electronic surveillance devices, etc., to ensure protection to all employees. Repatriation. The final issue in managing international assignments is repatriation, that is helping employees make the transition back home of arriving employees. Since the Home Office has spent enormous amounts on expatriates trip abroad, including training, compensation, development, etc., it is essential to utilize the expertise of an expatriate profitably. It is essential to establish a strategy that allows the Home Office to take the valuable experience abroad and integrate it with what is happening at the home, and allow co-workers to learn of the expatriates' experience to improve their own performance. On a personal level, two major issues need special attention. The first is logistic. Personal savings will need to be transferred, personal belongings inventoried and shipped, automated, and home possibly purchased and sold, school transfer arranged, and spouse employment assistance arranged. Many progressive international companies try to take care of many of the problems cited above by taking certain sensible steps, giving a written assurance to the international assignee that he or she will be given an appropriate job after completion of the assignment, appointing a sponsor who should keep the second, appointing a sponsor who keep the expertise well performed without developments in home office, including career opportunities. This one is the summary. Note here, this one is the summary. Read it yourself. You can read it yourself, as I know. You can read it yourself, the summary.